Now going into week 4, the Broncos are headed to MetLife to face the Jets for the first time since 2020 in New York, a matchup which they won. In the all-time series, they lead 21-18-1. We took a deep dive, and here are the numbers that you need to know. The Broncos defense this season has consistently put pressure on the quarterbacks they face. The Broncos pass rush has recorded 11 sacks in 3 weeks. In week 3 versus the Blitz, Jets QB Aaron Rodgers went 8 for 11 with 91 pass yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and no interceptions. The Broncos defense has a 50 blitz percentage in 2024, the highest in the NFL. Entering week 4, the Broncos ranked 2nd against the pass, 3rd in total yards allowed, 6th in points allowed, and tied for 5th in sacks and tied for 8th in takeaways. With new additions like outside linebacker Dondre Tillman, who had 2 sacks in his debut, it only complements defensive end Zach Allen and outside linebacker Jonathan Cooper. In 3 games, Allen has recorded 18 total quarterback pressures this season, which is tied for the 2nd most in the NFL, behind only Lions defensive end Aiden Hutchinson, and is the most by any interior defensive lineman in the NFL. He needs 2 sacks to tie for the 3rd most quarterback takedowns by a Broncos defensive lineman through 4 games in a season. All eyes will be on Pat Surtain II as he is expected to see time against the Jets' top receiver Garrett Wilson. Surtain has allowed 6 receptions with 63 receiving yards as the nearest defender in coverage in 2024. In week 1, when facing Seattle Seahawks wide receiver DK Metcalf, he allowed 3 receptions for 29 receiving yards. In week 2, he allowed 1 reception for 16 receiving yards to Pittsburgh Steelers wideout George Pickens, and in week 3 allowed 1 reception for 8 receiving yards to Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver Mike Evans. Jets wideout Garrett Wilson leads the Jets with 150 receiving yards in 2024, hauling in 15 receptions and 1 receiving touchdown. Coming from the NFC, head coach Sean Payton is no stranger to facing Aaron Rodgers. Payton is 3-2 as head coach versus Rodgers in his career, all while with the Saints. When facing a Payton-coached team, Rodgers has posted 9 passing touchdowns and 7 interceptions in 5 career games. The last game between Payton and Rodgers came in week 1 of the 2021 NFL season, Payton getting the win 38-3. Rodgers went 15 for 28 with 133 passing yards and 2 interceptions. On the defensive side, Rodgers will see a familiar face in defensive end John Franklin Myers. Myers spent 4 years with the Jets before being traded to the Broncos during the offseason. Myers recorded his first sack of the season in Week 3's win versus Buccaneers QB Baker Mayfield. Denver's defense is top 5 in sacks so far this season. Rodgers has been sacked only 5 times in the first 3 weeks.